What's going on YouTube? So we back with another one. If you like what I'm doing, let me get a thumbs up. If you don't like it, let me get a thumbs down. Either way, we're gonna keep going. Either way, we're gonna keep rocking. Let's have civil discord, not so civil discord in the comment section. All I ask is you can say what you want, you can feel how you feel, but just try your best to be respectful. And no matter what, even if you are disrespectful, I will remain respectful because that's my core character. I don't never need to tear another individual down just to prop myself up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's probably why God has given me my name. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a move like a king. But anyway, let's get into it. I want to extend appreciation for anybody that's new here, anybody that's old here, recent due to recent visibility. I live stream every day, so you could have came for a number of reasons. You could have came because of my No Fugazi podcast reaction. We are still in the building stages, so if there's any errors that you see, bad communication or communication that's lacking, it will get better. Rock with me or whatever. Respectfully, I don't need unsolicited advice, please. I'm not a new content creator, but I don't need that unless you can't hear me and stuff like that. And a lot of times I done already rendered it and it was like, damn. So I just make it better on the next one. But still in all, you are appreciated, and we gonna get it rocking. Let me tell you what we doing today. Alright. So today we have a video. Shout out to the Saint. Peace to the Saints. Shout out to him. If you ever see this, I love what you do, brother. I got a few reactions coming out that I'm gonna be using your content. I appreciate you. I will be using your content to articulate a few of my points that I feel like we see the same, like objectively, and a lot of the things I agree with you about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a real articulate man. You know what I'm saying? Those who gonna be in the comments like, oh, he glazing them, bro, grow up. But I appreciate you. And yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you do. I appreciate your content that you put out, right? So yeah, we're gonna be talking about these quote unquote liberal blackity blacks, pro blacks, cosplay, but it's really just racist and hate. It's going to be a few series back to back of what I noticed, and like I said, I will be using examples from the Saint to articulate my point. And his wording and his thinking is exactly on par with mine. And what I noticed in this pocket of the internet or whatever, we have, I'm not going to say gatekeepers, because gatekeeping would imply that they are people that hold all the success and suck up all the viewership and stuff like that. So it's nothing like that. Like it ain't like that. But what I did notice is that they mask their quote unquote satire and exposing and righteousness. They use that to mask their hatred and racism. And this is what I noticed. I noticed it from the rip, and it took, now that quote unquote shout out to No Fugazi podcast for him to kind of mess up for it to really shine through, so I can actually have the evidence and the proof, and to know that I wasn't crazy. Like regardless of what anybody would say or whatever the case may be, I'm not a hater. My biggest thing, and that's why I started this channel, my biggest thing is to protect us as men, black men first, because we are the one that's the least protected. Once again, I'm pretty sure, I know we're supposed to be the protectors and the providers, but once again, like, what about us? What about our mental health? And with all this stuff circulating on the internet, at least we can do is not fight amongst ourselves and try to tear another black man down. So like I said, I've noticed certain patterns, and there will be a series of videos proving my point, and hopefully at the end of these videos, y'all will try y'all best to not judge, not hate, and be able to peep out and understand that is racism and hate by our own, not even by outside source, not even by the, as they say it, the good old white man. Cause I'm on two parts of this YouTube thing. I'm on two sides of this YouTube thing. I got my nerd side or whatever with my gaming channel. You know what I'm saying? Because I build PCs like I'm a nerd. But then I got this side, which is the black side, the protection of men and giving men a heads up. Shout out to them, to all them podcasts out there that's really doing the work, and they not hating. Shout out to them. But yeah, so I see the other side of it, and a lot on the other side, unfortunately, or I can't say unfortunately, but a lot of where I notice that a lot of the white males they collaborate, they have a good time or whatever. It ain't this, it ain't this, man. But I want to get into this clip or whatever, and I want to break it down and let him expand, and we gonna kind of go back and forth.
Abba and Preach, they're going at David of No Fugazi podcast, and basically they're doing the whole fresh and fit 1-2 on him. And you know what? I think
now you heard him say the whole fresh and fit 1-2. They can't stand fresh and fit, which is understandable. I don't really rock with them guys. I stand on just like kind of with the Cooley situation, right? The whole thing with the Cooley situation doesn't take away that he says good stuff. Now him, fresh and fit, in the No Fugazi podcast, aka David Cooley, there's two different, they do things two different ways. So that's what I can give to Cooley, but they're trying to sit here, but they try to Albert and Preach, the two Canadians, literally one of the biggest people on this platform, aka bullies. I would say low key, but it's not low key, like it's apparent or whatever the case may be, and the proof is in the pudding. But they want to call him a fresh and fit clone because of the layout. A lot of, if it's successful, why try to move it? It's a big difference, in my opinion.
a lot of the internet has enjoyed their work on Fresh and Fit. It gets very high views, which is obviously very profitable for Alba and Preach. And I tell you what, despite their bohemian look and their everyman persona, they are definitely about the money and they're raking it in. And you know what? I'm very happy for them. Shout out to them.
So what he was saying right there, I'm a C student as Anton. Shout out to AntonDaniels. So I'm breaking down from a C student perspective. What he was saying there is, despite, once again, I'm just repeating, despite how they look, quote unquote, you know, not flashy, no chains, is then the third, the background don't change, is then the third. All of that's a move. Because it's easier to vibe with somebody or to agree with somebody, be in an echo chamber with somebody that you feel like is like you. They make themselves seem like, dog, I'm just an average dude. But it's also a ploy so they can make money. Why would they upgrade what they got going on? Because it would change the packaging, and it would change how they formulate their message. That's just like, for instance, if we use Jay-Z, right? When he was, you know what I'm saying, when he was rapping about, you know what I'm saying, getting out, you know, basically, you know, this the regular rapper rhetoric. They was in the street, flipped the brick, flipped another brick, and now they a mogul. You notice that the flow change, and as your flow change, why would I elevate to stay the same? I forgot his exact words, but why would I become better to stay the same? Now, if you do stay the same, when you elevate, yeah, you'll keep pretty much like your core audience, the people that grow with you, but everybody ain't meant to be in your circle. And if they can't understand elevation, you need to let them go in the first place. So that's to keep and to make it seem like they're like you. But as Kendrick say, they not like us.
They're good businessmen. They're wise and clever. And you got to respect excellence. And they're certainly showing excellence.
We got a fresh and fit clone who got upset at our video recently. Remember that guy who was talking about the single mom?
No, this is funny. And it's ultra disrespectful. I've said it before. Abba is an evil genius. And so he's categorized this fellow as a fresh and fit clone. And there's no doubt that the No Fugazi podcast fits into that vertical of folks who do the live dating talk show. Undoubtedly, he has a different flavor in the way he does it versus Fresh and Fit. But it's quite intelligent for them to pick up on what's working. The data, as expressed by the viewership, indicates that Fresh and Fit, as many fans as they appear to have a significant army of haters as well. And
now, once again, I seen that beef this day and the third. I don't necessarily mess with Fresh and Fit based on the nut stuff that what's his name, Myron did when it came to KS, calling him gay behind his back, even though he was one of the most influential people on your podcast that actually made y'all ascend to where y'all at to this day. I mean, even though you fumbled the bag and stuff like that. So all that work that they did on Fresh and Fit, all that just then a third, to me, that wasn't hate. They absolutely deserved it. But what you will notice is, because of David Cooley's success and because of the layout of David Cooley's set, quote unquote Fresh and Fit layout, they hate this guy. And I'm pretty sure they couldn't wait for his downfall. And that's why they keep putting him, that's why they put him in that realm of quote unquote red pill.
hate is profitable. In fact, I'd even say that hate is far more powerful.
And he about to go into, which y'all pretty much know, and I've actually said this before, if it bleeds, it reads. We are so, like, we love degeneracy, and we quote unquote love a beef. Like we love a beef. But where is the boundaries, and when is it called out as bullying and hating?
Than love. This is one of the concepts that I teach about in the Book of Dark Truths course. But let's get into this work right here. So basically, these gentlemen have monetized hate. These are two very clever individuals. Let's hear what they have to say, and there's no doubt we'll get a good laugh.
And he's going to explain exactly how they do it, how they make it so wholesome, to make it seem like that is, I'm just exposing him, we're on the right side of things. But in all, which I will explain in another video, is really bullying. And they're not just the only ones that's guilty of this.
And somebody got to get me one of them damn ring necklaces. Bro got a necklace with a ring on it. Shout out to bro.
Moms, and it turned out he was with a single mom and all this stuff.
A black man playing stepdaddy to some white kids.
I also want to point out to everyone watching, especially the black peoples of the earth.
And now he about to bring home the point of this whole video on how, and it's a shame how racist these mofos is.
That when you observe these folks, like even said Dr. Umar Johnson, and they are disparaging the whites. I mean, I understand probably better than most of you that there's a history of certain European civilizations wreaking havoc around the world. We're talking about mass killing, mass RAPE, theft of land, destruction of culture, lifeways, folkways, mores, and in fact, the eradication of history itself and the recreation of false narratives. I understand, I get it. One, it's in the past. And two, I find that these people, they hate the white, but don't love the black. So you have these black folks, they hate.
He should have dropped the mic on that. They hate the whites, but they don't love the blacks. So all this energy, so because he's in an interracial relationship, he gonna get that work. She gonna get that work for just simply existing and being white. But there is no balance, because just as well as they hate them, they don't love you. They don't love you. They won't do nothing to collaborate to lift you up. And as soon as they smell blood in the sea or the ocean, they will pounce on you. And especially if you were very successful, and then that's when it really shows that, oh yeah, I knew this individual wasn't who he said he was, then the third. And that's where the hate comes. But they don't love you. They racist as all hell, but they don't love you. And they will rather actually see you down than up.
Hate the white, but they don't love the black. They'll disparage you for being in an interracial relationship. They'll disparage, in this case, David for having white stepkids. So they'll be very vicious and hateful against the white, but then you don't see the counterbalance of genuine love for the black. You never see them making the black woman wear her true hair, which is the most beautiful on her. You never see them disparaging those skin lightening products that much of Africa is using to appear fairer than they are supposed to be. You never see them addressing the self-hatred, which is far more important than the white supremacy that they so fear. I want you all to remember that. And again, it stays in line with my thesis that hate is far more powerful love. The hate that some of these folks have for the whites is far more strong than the love that they would have for themselves. But let's carry on. So anyways, they're reacting to a video that some very pale black guy did, basically disparaging David and kind of making these racial suggestions that there shouldn't be any interracial dating or interracial co-parenting. And mind you, I don't think co-parenting is a concept. So just to restate my beliefs, the ism, co-parenting is not a thing. You have children, the biological mother and the biological father are parent to those children. That's number one. Number two, a woman should not mix paternal blood, meaning that if a woman has had kids by one man, that's it. She should never have kids by another man again. And which would suggest that women should stick with their baby daddy, your baby daddy.
These guys are not even going to come up with their own thing, just biting off Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fit. Then I'm not even going to bother to learn their name
and spin that shit.
Isn't there an irony?
And I think that's a nice slap in the face that they're issuing out, but it's also very strategic. And so on the surface of it, it's a well-packaged slap on the face, but the underlying true strategy, because there's sincere hatred, the type of person that, and I'm just going to say Abba because he's the leader of these two, the type of person that Abba is hates the type of person that Myron is, hates the type of person that David is.
And y'all heard me say that. They hate the way they move. They hate the way they think. They don't know. Which actually, which is going to be another video for another time, which just shows the feminine nature of this quote unquote. Well, he never claimed to be masculine, and probably to him, that's because he seems more like a liberal than anything. So.
And I'm not saying his last name because it sounds like a racial slur, so I think I'm probably getting flagged for that. So he hates those type of persons, and in this fairly indirect, passive-aggressive means, which is via internet, remotely, he's able to attack these personalities that he very much so despises, attack these types that he very much so despises. And, the internet, as opposed to, say, what was more typical, 50, 60, 100 years ago, is a great tool to those who would be passive aggressive. It is a tool to the weaker of men. And this is no jab at Abba. I think he's an evil genius. And in fact, someone remind me to make a statement later, which is only to his credit. So if someone would remind me, I'll do.
So we about to wrap this up or whatever. And y'all just gonna have to come back for part 2. But this is part 1 or whatever the case may be, to just I'm gonna really break this down. But just like he was saying, so this is the first part of the quote unquote really making this a thing or whatever, that is not, this ain't what y'all think. Matter of fact, if I had to be honest, this is some Matrix shit. And I feel like majority of y'all is locked in the Matrix or whatever the case may be. And it ain't just, but in this side of the Matrix, it ain't just one Neo. It's a couple Neos that like really, you know what I'm saying? Like they really looking at this shit. They really understanding that. You know what I'm saying? This is bullying. This is hatred. Like, it's ridiculous. And I can't stand a bully. And in my next video, in the next part 2 to this, I'm gonna go into that. I'm gonna go into why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna go into how I was able to identify it or whatever. We gonna do our best to make this as crisp as possible and package this in the right way. But until next time, my friends, if you like what I'm doing, let me get a thumbs up. If you don't like it, let me get a thumbs down. Either way, we're going to keep going. Either way, we're going to keep rocking. Let's have civil discord, not so civil discord in the comments. All I ask is you try to be respectful. Disclaimer, whether you be disrespectful or not, I'm still going to be respectful because I'm going to do what I need to do to move in love. You know what I'm saying? Because we already got enough. You know what I'm saying? We already got enough smoke amongst each other as it is. But until next time. If y'all made it this far, please make sure you like and sub, and I truly appreciate you, and I will catch you on the next one. Any information should be in the description.